It's Friday, November 19th, 2021. I'm in Bayside Station, Bayside, New York. I'm just thinking what's coming in this morning from Esoteric is a meeting that I had. I got a call. I was in my office when I was doing real estate, and somebody had said that he was an asset manager and he was coming in and he needed a real estate agent to represent him or to witness that he was there because they had to do some kind of an appraisal or whatever. I was like, all right. So he asked if I could meet him at a house in Coram, Coram. So I said, all right. I asked for the address. I said, now, do you already have this inspection set up, or do you need me to make the appointment to gain access to the home? Because I never met an asset manager before. So he said, no. He said, I'll go through my channels. I said, all right. So I went. At the time, though, I had to bring Alexander with me because I was a working mom, and he was young, and I don't think the nanny was able to get there for such a whatever. Something happened. I had to bring him. So I wound up going to the meeting, and Alexander was with me, and I brought, like I always did, diaper bag was full of some Cheerios, some like cereal snack bars, some juice. So this way or water. So this way he was just, or chocolate milk. So he was tended to in case he needed anything. And so I met the gentleman there. Now the interesting thing is that reflecting back from where I am now in a gamma field of like it's really tearing apart by radio waves, and it's really very noticeable for myself visually on my own skin, but also through my ocular lens. I can see deterioration of wave function and pattern within the light spectrum, being while I'm here at that amount of light. Being an A held in an ozone within turmoil. The humans do acknowledge that there's a hole in the ozone, HOLE. How it was created, they don't acknowledge. What it actually means, they don't acknowledge. They just, for a while, were talking about it and knowing it was serious. I can't remember this gentleman's name or what company he worked for. It was a long time ago as far as now, because now Alexander's like 15. So, but nothing ever, for real estate purposes, nothing ever came of it. But my point in mentioning him, what struck me about him is there is a quality of human that exists. Their clothes just sit on their body differently. Their skin just looks differently. They're able to hold their body frame differently. If I put it in scientific terms, it's their electron shell is in perfect alignment and order. Here, everything is so radicalized that my electrons are bouncing around. They're shifting from ionic to covalent to whatever the heck the other one is, to valence. I mean, it's like it is an ever. It almost feels like he had an endo-ectoskeleton almost. It felt spiritually, with some form of balance in between when he moved through time and space, and you can just tell because they speak different, they hold them. I mean, everything just calibrates so much differently. And then there's somebody like myself where I've grown up in this, what I call sludge. I mean, that's what it feels like. I feel like sludge. I feel like the imbalance between the shifting of electrons, between the weather, between the toxicity of the ingestibles, being water, edibles, I mean food, whatever, not even in a drug classification, but just on like milk. If you do bread and water, whatever bread and water is, as far as an ingestible, if that's all you lived on, it's like it's like a rolling, like between electrons to get through. It's not even like a stiff, swift, staunch movement. It's not like you have a body machine that's like working in tune. Now it's like you've already disintegrated and come apart. You're more like a wisp, but you don't always move in timing and in sync properly. So it causes a lot of pain and a lot of different sensations that are really horrific. That's what I feel like at this point. I feel like almost how like a slug, a snail, SNAIL or SLUG, with a shell or without, leaves like a little bit of a trail behind it. It's almost like that as you move, because the electrons are not bonded properly. And it's just in the last 4 decades, from when I first arrived until now, it's gotten so much worse. And meeting a different man, who now says that he's in charge of working with something called meta, really scares me, because now I feel like they're meta tagging my biologic and purposely targeting and disintegrating the electric, spiritual, static charge that holds staunch together in a safe body mechanic. It just feels like I'm just trapped in this disgusting, and I don't know how to get out. And there's not even a qualified physician that I've ever seen to ask for help. And at the time I met with the asset manager, again, like, how do you even bring this kind of a conversation up with a human? I mean, they're not really, that I'm aware of, the normal human's not prepared for it, and I don't know where to find the people that are responsible or in charge of the health, safety, and welfare. I mean, I'm an A blood type with a negative charge. I'm supposed to be in a completely different habitat than New York or this type of electron situation. And on top of that, I have now Alex. I've got Ben's an A as well. And my last baby is an A as well. So that's whatever that is. But yet we're stuck in this disintegrating gamma field. It's gamma radiation. It's like sitting, I mean, the humans even acknowledge that when you get x-rays or you go into some kind of, one of those machines that they stick you in for some kind of body scan, it says it scrambles your electrons for a few minutes and then you go back to being the same. Right, yeah, except the outer environment is at a different level. It just doesn't have that. Whatever. So asset manager, in real estate, I have no idea what that means at his level. Like, I went to a conference in Las Vegas. Trish Nash invited me to hear her speak, and I met her through Exit Realty. I wanted to go hear her speak because I liked her as a person when I met her. And she was with some women's group in distressed home sales, something along those lines. So I went out. I went out there at that time. I had the money to do so. And then I went to the conference. And again, it was supposed to be able to meet asset managers, which I did. But the asset managers, first of all, were not like the asset manager I met in the field in Coram, New York. That was a completely different class of human being. And the one that I met out in Vegas, they looked more like corrections officers. I mean, like, and not in a like martial arts kind of a way. More offbeat path type of a way. In the correction system somehow. I don't know. But they had no interest in finding real estate agents. They're like, oh yeah, give me your card, I'll put you on a list. Yeah, really? So like those, like in New York, I don't know who they give, if there's assets in auctions. First of all, I don't know how they enter the system. I'm pretty sure it's through some court process, but I have no idea because I don't have access to the court systems. And then from there, then they hire a real estate company. Again, I have no idea because nobody's really honest about it. Nobody talks about it. And they already have all their systems set up. So, I mean, how do you even get into that? I even tried to buy some kind of an REO like explanation from some person throughout the real estate industry. Still couldn't figure it out. All of his words meant nothing. I tried to hire a company by the name of Brian Buffini, and do some kind of keeping in touch with past clients for future referrals type of a thing. That worked for a while, but it was expensive. And then I had almost like a station change. And when the station changed, like just the interest just dissipated like helium let out of a balloon. And then you're left with just the pathetic looking balloon on the floor. And this seems to be like a recurring theme in this New York. It's like you only get so far and then like everything just falls apart. Star 1978, star 8378, Nicole, Cattaruzza. It's Bayside Station, Bayside, New York, 11361. And it's Earth, Solar System, Milky Way, Universe, Galaxy is broken.